Business IQ is brought to you by Credit Guarantee. Bad debts are bad news. Why risk it without us? Credit Guarantee is an accredited financial services provider.
Implementing an efficient telephone system can definitely improve the way you communicate with your customers and business associates, but are small companies really paying attention to this? To discuss this in more detail, I'm joined in studio by Sacha, who is the CEO of Fat Budgie. Sacha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Candy.
Now, Sacha, and I suppose as a starting point to this discussion, I'd simply want to ask, are South African businesses, and in particular the small businesses out there, paying attention to how they handle their communication systems?
Candy, I think when it comes to telephone systems, every small business owner is forced into having to pay attention to it at some point. And up until now, it's really been a grudge decision for most small business owners. So you'll tend to find that most small businesses out there will have a machine somewhere located in the office called a PBX. And no one really understands how it works normally. But the salesperson tells you that it's absolutely crucial for your business because it allows your staff's telephones to link together and allows you to make telephone calls out and for your customers to phone in. So it's really a very simple, it offers you very simple features but costs an arm and a leg. And that's what most business owners have had to face at some point, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, let's talk about that grudge purchase that you talk about, a PBX. And I want to specifically touch on a cloud-based PBX.
Right.
What exactly is that?
Okay, so now the next evolution in PBX is upon us, and we feel like we're one of the brands leading that evolution, which is to move the PBX out of the office and into the cloud, so to speak. What that really means is that you now, instead of having this box sitting in your office that you have to insure, look after, maintain, understand, which doesn't want to grow or change with your business, you're now plugged into a world-class hosted system, which is hosted in a really advanced data center, which can shift and change and evolve with your business. So now you don't have any of the problems you used to have with a box that's sitting in your office. You can move your business anywhere in the country and keep your number. You can have multiple branches and they all act as if they're on one PBX all over the country. Your inter-branch calls are free. And a number of other fantastic features and benefits that come with the cloud. It's really the next step in the evolution of business telecommunication.
Now, talking about those benefits, I suppose at this point I should actually ask you if you can just take us through some of the most important factors for businesses to consider, and more especially, and I want to touch on small companies, on smaller businesses, on the startups.
Sure, that's what it's about. I mean, there's fantastic technology behind all of this, but leaving the technology aside, we've really got a small business owner who has a problem, and this solution provides fantastic control for that person to now control his costs and how he conducts his business. So I think probably one of the major features is that one doesn't have to go and buy a very expensive piece of equipment and take the risk that that piece of equipment will be the right piece of equipment in 3 years and 5 years. Because normally what happens is you can't afford to buy a PABX because you're a small business owner and the costs are ranging from 100,000 Rand, sometimes less, depending on the size of your business. But you have a medium-sized business, you're talking 150, 200,000 Rand piece of equipment. So to make that kind of commitment, very difficult for the small business owner. So he puts it on a rental or finance, he finances the equipment over a 3 to 5 year period. And that's a very difficult decision to make as a small business owner because you don't know what your business is going to look like in 3 years or 5 years. You can have more staff, less staff, move premises, change the nature of your business. And so I think not having to make that decision now is probably the biggest feature, because now you plug into the cloud and it's on a month-to-month basis. So if you want to grow, you grow. Next month you retrench half your staff, God forbid, you downscale the system to the size that you need. So that's probably one of the major features of the system.
So definitely no excuse not to have one.
No, it's actually really a no-brainer. I think for any small business owner like myself, and that's how I was actually a customer of Cloud PBX before I got involved in the business. I think it's really a no-brainer. If you are moving premises or you have a PBX that's come out of contract or has just gotten struck by lightning, or all the other things that can happen to a PBX, you really have to move on to the cloud. There's just no way you'd want to buy a hard box, old style PBX going forward.
And we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that was Sacha Matulovic, and he's the CEO of Fat Budgie. Thanks for watching.
Business IQ is brought to you by Credit Guarantee. Bad debts are bad news. Why risk it without us? Credit Guarantee is an accredited financial services provider.